Hello friends, welcome to the today's online session. In today's online session, we'll be starting with the multiple choice questions based on the second topic from our syllabus, that is nothing but the properties of matter. In properties of matter, today we'll be discussing a MCQs over the topic surface tension. Before actually starting to the topic, I just want to thank you all the viewers for our yesterday's online session. And just a time span of 24 hours, the more than 600 views has been given to that video. For such a tremendous response to these sessions, I first of all thank you all, and I request everyone to please share these videos with your colleagues and students for the BSc and those who are preparing for the competitive exams in physics. For example, those who are preparing for the IITs, JAM exam, and other competitive exams in physics. So let us start with the today's topic, uh, surface tension. The first MCQ based on this one is the unit of surface tension is the options for this one is first one is Newton per meter, second one is Newton meter, third one is dyne, fourth one is dyne centimeter. Now we had seen the surface tension is a property of a liquid, and surface tension of a material or surface tension of a liquid is defined as the force per unit length. So mathematical expression for the surface tension is nothing but the force upon length. We know that the force is in SI unit, it is measured in terms of Newton, and the length is measured in terms of meter. So the correct answer for this question is option number A, Newton per meter. Okay, now we'll move with the next question. Next question is unit of surface tension is same as that of option A, surface energy per unit volume, option B, force per unit area, option C, surface energy per unit area, option D, surface energy per unit length. Now in this question you have to match the units of the four given option with the unit of surface tension. In the last question we had seen as the force is surface tension is defined as the force per unit length, so its unit is Newton per meter. Its unit is Newton per meter. Now what we will do, we will try to calculate the unit of each option given over here. So first option is surface energy per unit volume. We know that surface energy is nothing but the work done stored within that liquid, or surface energy is nothing but the work done, and per unit volume, so we have to divide it by the volume. So surface energy per unit volume is nothing but the work done per unit volume. So this work done, we know the formula for the work done is nothing but the force into displacement. So its unit, if I try to calculate, force is measured in terms of Newton, force is measured in terms of Newton, and displacement is measured in terms of meter, so it is Newton per meter. Now what we will do, we will substitute these quantities in the first one, that is the surface energy per unit volume, that is nothing but the force into displacement divided by volume. So display force is measured in terms of Newton, displacement is measured in terms of meter, and volume is measured in terms of meter cube. So its unit is coming out to be Newton per meter square. Then if you see, the option A has unit Newton per meter square, but we know that the unit of a surface tension is Newton per meter. So obviously the option A is not the answer. Okay. Option B, it is given force per unit area. We know that force is measured in terms of Newton, and area is measured in terms of meter square. So its unit is also coming out to be Newton per meter square. So obviously the option A, B is also not a correct answer. Now we'll go to the option number C, that is nothing but the for surface energy per unit area. Surface energy, that is nothing but the work done per unit area, so I have to divide it by the area. So it is force per unit area, work done per unit area. Now we will try to calculate the its unit. work done, it is Newton meter, area it is in terms of meter square. So this m and this m, they will cancel each other. So you are getting a quantity Newton per meter. You are getting a option for this third or C option. You are getting an its unit Newton per meter. So if you compare this, Newton per meter with this Newton per meter, so your units are matching with each other. So obviously the answer for this question is surface tension has unit same as that of surface energy per unit area. Okay, so the correct answer is option number C. Now next question, raindrops are spherical because of, the options are given: viscosity of the solid liquid, surface tension, elasticity, and shortage of rain. Okay, now in this question we have to we have to go back into the our previous lecture, that surface tension is a property of a liquid. The free surface of liquid behaves as a stretched membrane, okay, and it has a tendency to minimize its surface area. So this pull or this tension of free surface of a liquid is known as a surface tension. So due to that one, this rain drops or small bubbles are in shape of sphere, or they are in spherical shape, because of the force of surface tension dominates the force of gravitation. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is option number B, surface tension. Next question is surface energy. Surface energy is kinetic energy of the surface molecule, force per unit length acting on the surface particles, the energy of the molecules inside the beaker, and option D, the extra energy that molecules at the surface have relative to the molecules inside the liquid. Now in the molecular theory of surface tension, we had seen that if you consider a liquid, we can consider over here molecule A, which is well inside the liquid, molecule B, which is near the surface of the liquid, and the molecule C, which is exactly on the surface of the liquid. If you consider in this molecule C, the molecule C I am talking about, the adhesive force trying to pull the molecules above the liquid surface is much weaker than the cohesive force that tries to pull the molecules inside the liquids. Means this molecule C, which are on this surface, molecule C, which are on this surface, they are under a pull in the downward direction. They are under the pull in the downward direction. So due to that one, these molecules at the surface, they possess extra energy, and that extra energy is, we call it as an surface energy. We call that as an surface energy. Okay, so the correct answer for this is the option D, the extra energy that the molecules at the surface have relative to the molecules inside. Okay, so the answer is option D. Now we'll go to the next question. The next question is the surface tension of liquid is 0.05 Newton meter. Find the vertical force required to detach the floating pin of length 2.5 centimeter from the surface of the water. Okay. Now see, the options are given over here. In this case, a pin is there which is floating on the surface of the water. Okay, so in this case the surface tension of the water is given, let us say T is 0.05 Newton per meter. Length of the pin it is given, that is 2.5 centimeter, and we need to calculate the force required to detach that pin from the surface of the liquid. Now here in this case we know that surface tension is defined as the force per unit length. Okay, so from this one, if I rearrange this, if I transfer this quantity L, from this side, it is divided on this side. If I transfer on this side, it will get multiplied. So F is equal to T into L. As the pin has the finite thickness, okay, it has a finite thickness, the total length of the liquid which is in contact with the solid, the total length of the pin in contact with the liquid, that will be nothing but the twice of its length. Okay, so due to that one, the total length in contact with the liquid, that will be 2 into 2.5, which will be 5 centimeter. But in this case, if you consider the surface tension of the water liquid, it is given in terms of SI unit, that is Newton per meter. So you have to convert this centimeter into meters. Okay, so I have to multiply this by 10 raised to minus 2. This is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So if I substitute these values in this equation, I'll get 0.05, which is the surface tension of the liquid, into length, which is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. So if I do this simple multiplication, this will come out to be 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 2 Newton. And if you look at the options, the answer is not in terms of 10 to the power. So I have to convert this 10 to the power minus 2 into decimal. So I have to shift by 2 decimal places. So I had given 2 zeros and decimal over here. So it is 0.025 newtons. So your correct answer in this case is the option number C. Answer is option number C, 0.025 Newton. Now, next question, the surface tension of liquid depends upon the contamination of the liquid surface, presence of impurity of the liquid, temperature, and all of this. All of us know that if you add the detergent into the soap's water, you can easily clean your hands. Okay, if you increase the temperature of the water and if you use that water, then that also decreases the surface tension of the water and you can easily clean your hands. Okay, so all these factors affect the surface tension of the liquid. So the correct answer for this is the all of these. Next question is the surface tension of the dimension of surface tension R. These are the 4 options which are given. I'll recommend you people, in every competitive exams you will get a 1 or 2 questions based on the determination of the surface tension, determination of the dimensions of some quantities. I'll recommend you people never try to mark these dimensions, always try to derive these dimensions. I'll show you over here how to derive these dimensions. We know that the surface tension is nothing but the force per unit length, and I know the formula for the surface tension, that is nothing but the mass into acceleration from the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, so if I substitute this value in this expression, force is mass into acceleration divided by the length. Now what we will do, we'll try to write down the units of this quantity. I know that mass is measured in terms of kilogram. Mass is measured in terms of kilogram. Acceleration is measured in terms of meter per second square. Acceleration is measured in terms of meter per second square, and length is measured in terms of meter. Length is measured in terms of meter. So this meter will cancel each other. This meter will cancel each other. So what you get, the unit of surface tension in terms of the fundamental units, that is nothing but the kilogram per second square. Now I know the dimensions, I need to write down in terms of the fundamental units. So let us say MLT, that is mass, length and time. So here it is kilogram, it is coming, so m raised to 1. Length is missing, so I had given L raised to 0. No meter or centimeter is over here, so L raised to 0. And second raised to minus 2 it is coming, that is why I had given T raised to minus 2. So if you look into the options, so you can see that option B is the correct answer in this case. Now we'll move to the next question. Next question is, for the liquid which weights the solid surface, the angle of contact is. The first answer is obtuse, then acute, 90 degree and 180 degree. Now this is a basic understanding which we have discussed in our earlier sessions as well. Now here in this case I'll show you the diagram for the capillarity action. The liquid which weights the solid surface, in that if you immerse a capillary tube, the liquid inside the capillary tube goes in the upward direction. Okay, or liquid raised inside the capillary tube. Now if you consider, for such a kind of liquid, the liquid surface is in this fashion, it will be curved in this fashion. Now for the understanding of this phenomenon, let us consider this one. how do we define an angle of contact? Angle of contact is a angle which a tangent makes with the free surface of the liquid at the point of contact with the walls of the container of the vessel measured from the liquid side. Now let us say this is a tangent which I have drawn. This is a tangent which I have drawn, and the angle which it is making from the side of liquid. So let us say this is an angle alpha. So in this case, if you consider for a liquid whose surface is like this curve, and this is a tangent, this is a tangent, then in this case, for such a kind of tangent, this angle it is coming out to be less than 90 degree. So for less than 90 degree, we call it as such an angle as an acute angle. We call it as an acute angle. So in this case, the answer is acute angle, option number B. Now we will move to the next question, that is question number 9. The force for the liquid which does not wet the solid surface, the angle of contact is. We had just seen in our earlier question that for liquid which wets the solid surface, the angle of contact is acute angle, that is 90 degree. For this case, liquid is not wetting the surface. If you immerse a capillary tube in such a kind of liquid, the liquid level inside the capillary tube, it will go down. Okay, so in this case you can see the liquid level is going down, and for this the liquid surface is in this fashion. It is concave in nature. It will be concave in nature. So for this we will try to calculate the angle of contact. Let us say this is a concave surface. I am drawing a tangent at this point. I am drawing a tangent at this point. I have drawn a tangent at this point in this fashion. Okay, this is a tangent. Now I have to measure this angle from the surface of liquid. So this angle it is coming out to be alpha. If you see, this angle is greater than 90 degree. This angle is greater than 90 degree, and the angle which is greater than the 90 degree, we call it as an obtuse angle. Though 180 degree option it is given in this case, but we have to remember that we don't have the exact value of the angle. So the most correct option for this question is obtuse angle. Okay, so and correct answer for this one is the option number A. Now next question. Before going to the next question, let me tell you, you can solve these kind of questions by using a formula for determination of the surface tension by using this capillary action H R rho g upon 2 cos theta. As you know that the liquid level inside this capillary tube, it is going down. So H in this case it will be negative. So if H will be negative, then in that case rest of the quantities T, R, rho, G and number 2, these are positive quantities. If you calculate the cos theta from this one, its value is coming out to be negative, and we know that cos theta is negative if the angle is greater than 90 degree, means it is an obtuse angle. Okay, now we will move to the next question, question number 10. The surface tension of cold water is dash dash than that of hot water. Just we had seen that if you heat the water, it gets the higher ability to remove dirt from your hand. So if you increase the temperature of the water, its surface tension decreases. Okay, so here in this case the question has been asked, the surface tension of cold water is dash dash than that of the hot water. So obviously the surface tension of the cold water is more than that of the hot water. So correct option in this answer in this MCQs, it will be option number B, more than. Now next question, the angle of the contact angle determines the whether liquid will rise or get depressed along a solid surface. Select the correct statement regarding the same. Means whether the liquid will rise or fall. Whether the liquid will rise or fall inside a capillary tube, it will be determined by the angle of contact. We had just seen in our earlier questions that if it is a liquid which is wetting with the solid, if it is a liquid wetting with the solid, then the liquid will raise inside a capillary tube. If it is the liquid which does not wet with the solid surface, then the liquid inside a capillary tube, it will go down. Okay, so for in the first case the angle of contact is less than 90 degree, that is acute angle. In the second case, the angle is obtuse angle that we had seen. Now we will look into the options, what options it has been given in this one. So let us say first option, if contact angle is less than 90 degree, the liquid will raise along the solid surface. Obviously the given statement is a correct statement, but we will see the rest of the question options as well. If contact angle is greater than 90 degree, if contact angle is greater than 90 degree, means it is obtuse angle, then liquid will raise along with the solid surface. Obviously if the angle of contact is greater than 90 degree, it is a obtuse angle, then the liquid level will go down inside a capillarity. So option B is not correct, and liquid always rises along with solid surface irrespective of the angle of contact. So this option is also not correct. And option D, liquid always gets depressed along with solid surface irrespective of contact angle. Obviously this is also not a true option. So the most appropriate option in this case is the option number A. If the angle of contact is less than 90 degree, the liquid will raise along with solid surface. So the correct option for this MCQ is option number A. Now, a soap bubble contains two surface layers. What is the excess pressure just inside the first layer when seen from the outside the bubble surface? We know that excess pressure, if S is the surface tension and R is the radius of the bubble, then excess pressure inside a liquid drop or air bubble, it is 2S upon R. Now as the soap bubble has two surfaces, so we have to multiply this by the 2. So excess pressure inside the soap bubble, that will be 2 into 2S upon R, so which is coming out to be 4S upon R. So the correct answer option in this case one is the option number B, 4S upon R. Now the next question, the two capillary tubes of radius 0.3 centimeter and 0.6 centimeter are dipped in the same liquid. The ratio of heights through which the liquid will rise the tubes is, means we have to calculate the ratio of H1 and H2. In this case the options are given. So first of all we will try to write down the given data. The two capillary tubes radiuses are given. R1, let us say R1 is the radius of the first tube, which is 0.3 centimeter. Let us say R2, which is 0.6 centimeter, is the radius of the second capillary tube, and we have to calculate the ratio of the heights to which the liquid will raise inside the capillary tube. So H1 upon H2 is equal to question mark. So we know that the surface tension of the liquid, it is can be determined experimentally from this formula HR rho g upon 2 cos theta. And from this one, if I rearrange this equation, if I transfer all this quantity from this side, it will multiply to this one, that will be 2t cos theta upon R rho g. This will get transfer and it will get divided on this side. Okay, so this is coming out to be it is coming out to be 2t upon rho g r. Now in this case we know that as for a given solid liquid pair, the density of the liquid will be same, surface tension will be same, and angle of contact will be obviously the same. So from this expression, if you see, in that case H, it will come out to be inversely proportional to R. H is coming out to be inversely proportional to R. So if I write for the first capillary tube, it will be H1 is directly proportional to R1, and H1 is inversely proportional to R1, and H2 is inversely proportional to R2. Now if I divide these two equations, if I divide H1 by H2, then this will be 1 upon R1 divided by 1 upon R2. If I simplify this one, it will come out to be R2 by R1. Value of R2 it is given to us, that is 0.6 centimeter. Value of R1 it is given, that is 0.6 centimeter. So if I substitute these values, 0.6 divided by 0.3, it will come out to be 2 divided by 1. So it is 2 as to 1. So if you consider the options, the option B is the most correct appropriate option. Now we will move to the next question. A water drop of radius 1 centimeter is broken into water drop of 1 centimeter is broken into 1000 equal droplets, equal size droplets. If the surface tension of water is 0.75 Newton per meter, then the gain in surface energy is, in terms of joule, we have to calculate. These are the options which are given. So this is very most important question which will be asked in almost every competitive exam. That is why I have included in the presentation. In this case, first let us say the single drop is there. Let us say it is of higher size. Its radius, let us say it is capital R, which is 1 centimeter. It is given over here. So let us say capital R is equal to 1 centimeter. As the surface tension of the water is given in SI unit, so I will convert this centimeter into meter. So I have to multiply it by 10 raised to minus 2. And surface tension I have noted down, and we have to calculate the surface energy, gain in surface energy, that is equal to question mark. Now I know that the obviously whatever the that liquid drop breaks into 1000 droplets, the volume of water will not be going to increase. The volume of 1000 droplets, it will be equal to volume of a single drop. So let us say small r is the radius of the single 1000 droplets. A volume of a single drop, it will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. And as there are 1000 droplets are there, I have to calculate the total volume. So I have to multiply it with the 1000 number. This is equal to the volume of single drop whose radius is capital R, which will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. So from this one, 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi, it will cancel from both the sides. This 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi, it will cancel from these both sides. And this 1000 I can write in terms of 10 raised to 3. 1000 I can write 10 raised to 3. This side I'll get r cube, and this is equal to r cube. Okay, so this is equal to, now in this case if you consider this is r, if I take a cube root of this one, so r cube square root cube root, that will be r. Okay, and 10 cube square root cube root, it will be 10, and r cube, small r cube, its cube root, it will be r. So if I simplify this one, I'll get a relation r is equal to r by 10. I'll get a relation r is equal to r by 10. Now when a single drop is breaking into 1000 droplets, its surface area increases. Its surface area increases. So we have to calculate the surface area. How will you calculate the surface area? A surface area of 1000 droplets, it will be area of a 1000 droplets minus a area of a single drop. Okay, so I know that area of a drop, it will be given by 4 pi r square. This is for a single drop. I have to calculate for 1000 droplets, so I have to multiply it with the 1000 minus area of the surface area of a single drop, which is 4 pi r square. And if I substitute the value of small r, which is capital R upon 10, I can substitute, and I can take a 4 pi common from this one. So this will be 1000 into r by 10 bracket square minus r square. And if I further simplify this, this 100, which is a 10 square, I can divide this by this 1000 by this 100, which will come out to be 10. I can take this capital R square outside the bracket, so it will be 4 pi r square. Here you will get a 10 minus 1, which is coming out to be 9. So if you calculate the increase in area, I just have to substitute the value of pi. So it will be 4 as it is into pi value is 3.14 into 10 raised to minus 2, which is a radius of capital R, that will be 10R. Okay, if I further simplify this, I'll get the increase area in this fashion. And surface energy, it will be nothing but the surface tension into the area. It is surface tension into the area. Surface tension of the liquid, it is given, which is 0.075. Increase in area we have calculated, which is 113.04 into 10 raised to minus 4. So if I substitute these values and if I do this simple calculation, I'll get answer 8.478, which is coming out to be approximately 8.4. So if I look into the option, then it is coming, it is option B, which is showing this answer. So the correct answer for this question, it is option number B. Now we'll move to the next question, which will be our last question. What will be the work done in blowing a soap bubble of radius 2 centimeter? The surface tension of soap solution is 0.035 Newton per meter. The options are given over here. So here the radius of the bubble it is given, which is 2 centimeter. We'll convert it into the meter. The radius it is converted into the meter. Surface tension it is given, which is 0.035 Newton per meter, and we have to calculate the work done. So now when the soap bubble is blown, the extra area has been created. So the extra area which is formed during this process, it will be 4 pi r square. It will be 4 pi r square, but as the bubble has two surfaces, so its area it will be for 2 multiplied by the 4 pi r square, so which is coming out to be 8 pi r square. It is coming out to be 8 pi r square, and work done is nothing but the increase in surface energy, and surface energy is nothing but the surface tension into the increase in area. Surface tension is T and increase in surface area is 8 pi r square, which you have calculated. Okay, so the work done, if I want to calculate, I need to substitute the value of surface tension, which is 0.035, 8 as it is. Value of pi I am taking in this case, the value of 8 as it is. Value of pi I am taking in this case 22 by 7. Value of pi 22 by 7 as it is, and into r square. R is nothing but 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 into square. This is square. So if I substitute in this expression, I can divide this 7 and this 35, which is coming out to be 0.05. 8 as it is, 22 as it is, 2 square it will be 4, and 10 raised to minus 2 square it will be 10 raised to minus 4. So if I further simplify this, I'll get 22 into this will be coming out to be 3.52 into 10 raised to minus 4. So if you look into the options, option B is the most correct option. I hope you have understood the questions which I have discussed in the present presentation. I request everyone to share our channel or videos with your colleagues, with your friends, and I again thank you for all of you for attending the today's session. We'll stop here for the today's lecture. Thank you so much.